Ruchi Mania, this is Ruchi. Thank you so much for coming. Here I am with my next video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the chapter 3 of the book Rework. So, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Ta-da! So, the name of the chapter is Go. And the first thing we are going to talk about is make a dent in the universe. That means कुछ ऐसा करो, कुछ ऐसा सोचो कि आपको लोग हमेशा याद रखें, जो लोगों की नीड है उन्हें पता ना हो. And when it comes into the market, people just burst out thinking that okay यही मुझे चाहिए थी और इस बंदे ने निकाल दिया. Don't always think कि solution कोई और लेकर आएगा. अगर कैंसर का क्योर नहीं है तो कोई और बनाएगा. अगर आपके पास टैलेंट है तो आप बनाओ, आपका नाम होगा. Because that's gonna make a mark in every person, every customer's mind, and when it gets stopped, everybody will feel it at any cost. They'll be like, कुछ था मेरी जिंदगी में जो चला गया. लोगों के दिल में जगह बनाओ और ऐसा चीज़ बनाओ दुनिया में जो लोगों को ज़रूरत है और अभी तक नहीं बनी है. कॉपी करने से कुछ नहीं होगा, सेम बिजनेस को लॉन्च करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. ट्राई समथिंग डिफरेंट, सी द नीड्स ऑफ द कस्टमर्स, ऑफ द पीपल इन इंडिया, इन द वर्ल्ड, एंड देन bring out some different product and you're gonna see the results. Next thing we are gonna talk about is scratch your itch. So basically ये बोलते हैं कि खुद की नीड समझो, खुद का डे टू डे लाइफ देखो और उसमें देखो कि आपको किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है. What do you need? आपको क्या लगता है ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ है जो पूरे दिन में आपको मिले जिससे आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो. अगर वो आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है तो वो बाकी 100, 150, 1000, 1 लाख लोगों की भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा होगा. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ सर्चिंग अदर्स नीड्स एंड रिक्वायरमेंट, सर्च योर नीड्स एंड रिक्वायरमेंट्स, बिकॉज दैट विल हेल्प. अगर आप एक स्टूडेंट हो तो बाकी बच्चे भी एक स्टूडेंट है, वो भी आपकी जैसी ही लाइफ जी रहे हैं, एंड सम और द अदर वे दे आर ऑल्सो फेसिंग द सेम सिचुएशन एंड द सोल्यूशन विल हेल्प देम टू. सो स्क्रैच योर इच एंड देन फाइंड इट आउट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. Next thing we're going to talk about is start. So basically everyone says take the first step. We all have a friend in our life जो बोलता है कि भाई मेरे पास एक ऐसा आइडिया है जो मुझे बिलीनियर बना देगा, मिलीनियर बना देगा. There are a lot of people who say this. Don't be the person who say. Be the person जो कर ले, जो first step ले. Don't think of the future, don't think of the result. Just go for it. At least take the first step. I always say at least take the first step, because then you're gonna see the difference, and hence you would have this in your mind, and in your future you would say this to you, at least I tried. I'm not regretting anything in my life, rather than going to your friends and relatives and saying that I have this idea. If it works, I'll be a billionaire, you'll be a billionaire and everything. Go for it, take the first step and then see the result. Next thing we're going to talk about is no time, no excuse. Basically, every person in this world comes with the same excuse, that is, I don't have enough time, no time, no time, no time, no time, no time. You do have a time, yeah? Everyone has a time. Think of it from where you can bring that time to you. What is the one thing you can sacrifice? What is the one thing that is unproductive in your day? Go and find out time. Let's take an example of Amish Tripathi. He is a famous mythological fiction writer in India, and he has written many books. So when he was writing his first book, he was a full-time worker, a full-time professional, and yet he used to write books on the way in the car when he used to go to the office and come back from the office. Guys, he hired a driver so that he could write the books in the car. That 2 hours of journey, that 4 hours of journey has changed his life. Bring time, take out some time, see that thing which you can sacrifice, see the thing which is not important, and hence you will have time. Just you need to find it out. So next thing we're going to talk about is draw a line in a sand. So basically find it out why you're doing that or how you're doing that, because that is more important. The reason is more important. If you don't have a reason, you just want to give it a try, then trust me, that won't work, because you need to think of a broader circumstances and a broader strength, or maybe a target, because that's gonna take you to the way. Because if you don't have a reason, you don't have a target, then what would you answer the people who will hate you? Obviously there will be millions, billions of people who are gonna stand against you, but the only thing which is gonna stay with you is your idea, your target, and why, the reason why you're doing it. Because that is gonna reflect in future, and people are gonna respect that okay, this boy has told this, he had done this because of this. So find a reason and then work. The next thing we're going to talk about is live it or leave it. So basically, according to the book, it is said that if you really want to start something, if you want to start anything, live with the expectations or else leave it. If you're telling your customer, I provide ABC, the ABC thing should be there in your product, should be there in your service, because that's gonna build your goodwill, and goodwill is the most important part. Imagine you went to a restaurant, and outside the restaurant we have a big board called that we provide best biryani, best chocolate and everything, and when you go inside you find that's the worst biryani. That is not fine. Then leave the job, don't work on it. If you're thinking that you're gonna give commitments, be on your commitments, be on your words, so that the customers are gonna respect you, because that is the most important. Because as we all know, if customer believes in you, your business is gonna grow, otherwise it's just gonna crash it out. Next thing we're gonna talk about is outside money is plan Z. It's because when you invest in something by taking money from investors, then that is a different thing. You won't be able to focus on everything. You will have this headache that I have to return their money, and they'll be pushing you, they'll be poking you that return my money, or maybe they'll put their rights, they'll put their ideas on your product. That won't be your product anymore. So at the initial stage, don't ever try to take in money from investors. Try to generate it by yourself, at least a small amount, then go to them. And if you want, then take a loan. Don't ask investors, because they are gonna poke you, they are gonna pinpoint your ideas and ask you to put their ideas. That's not gonna be a great idea. So try to get your money by yourself or take a loan, but don't ask investors at the initial stage. Maybe later on, when you have your plan established, then you can ask investors. Obviously you will need investors, but not in the initial stage, because that's gonna spoil everything, and maybe you will lose your hope, your confidence, and even your idea. Next thing is, do you really need it? Ask yourself, do you really need 10,000 employees, or maybe that 5,000 employees are enough? Do you really need a big office, or just a small room with your laptop is enough? Ask yourself, do you really need 50,000, or just 5,000 is enough? So these are the reasons. Do you really need 2 years to establish? Maybe 2 months is enough. So think of that and work on it. Maybe the thing which 5 people can do, 50,000 people can make it very big and make it spoil the thing. So think and think and think. If you really need it, go for it. And if you don't, please stop and minimize things. That is gonna make your work very, very, very easy. Next thing is, start a business, not a startup. Always startup looks lighter, easier, because we feel that okay, let's give it a try. Chalega to chalega, nahi chalega to nahi chalega. If you have that thinking, it won't work. Think it as business, and also apply the physics of business, because startup also has the same features what a business has. It's just a fashionable word that everyone can start a startup. Yes, start a startup, but with a business idea, with a think of making it a big business one day. Don't just think like, okay, chala gaya to very good, nahi chala to we'll go on something else. No. Think it's a business. Think it's a big business which is growing, which is bringing a lot of revenue in your pocket, and hence how you're gonna reinvest it in the same thing, and hence you're gonna see the result. Next thing is, you need a commitment strategy, not an exit strategy. You have heard a lot of people asking you that if it doesn't work, what's your next plan? Don't tell them the plan, tell them that I have this commitment and it will work. So people always think that अच्छा नहीं चलेगा तो इसका ये कर लेंगे. That's the solution. आप खुद को relief दे रहे हो, not your business. Think of the existing strategy कि आप ऐसा क्या करोगे, ऐसा कौन सा commitment strategy लगाओगे that you're not gonna see that day. And if you think of that day, maybe you're gonna see that. So think of the existing strategy, think of the strategy for your commitments कि क्या करना चाहिए कि मुझे वो दिन देखना नहीं पड़े. Because if you more think of that कि अच्छा ठीक है नहीं हुआ तो we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. This is not life, this is a business, because people will pinpoint you. Okay, if your idea doesn't work, what are you gonna do? See, if you have one idea, you'll definitely have another ideas too. So don't think of the exit strategies, think of the commitment strategies, because that's gonna help you and your business or your startup. Next thing we have to talk about is less mass, and the mass include lot of employees, lot of commitments, big plannings, office politics, and many more. Stop these things. You don't need a lot of people at first. You don't need a lot of big office at first, because that's gonna spend a lot of money and you're gonna see a lot of bad effects of that. You don't even need a lot of technology, because even if you have a laptop and other two members have a laptop, that might work. Maybe you don't need to have 100, 2000 of laptops giving to your people, giving to your professionals, because that won't help. That would basically bring all the things together, and hence it will cause office politics. That's it, guys. If you like the video, please give a fine thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comments what else you wanna see in this channel. Till then, subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon, and have a great life.